This story is brought to you by English Tales for Learners, where stories inspire growth and words build your world. Picture yourself standing at the base of a towering mountain, its peak lost in a sea of clouds. So high it feels like a dream forever out of reach. Your heart pounds not with excitement, but with a heavy, gnawing doubt. How could you ever conquer something so vast, so intimidating? The distance seems endless, the effort unimaginable. The sheer impossibility of it all presses down on you like a weight you can't shake. You look up and for a moment you feel small, insignificant, as if the world is whispering that this is too big for you. But what if I told you that the secret to scaling that mountain, to chasing down any dream you hold deep in your soul, doesn't lie in some superhuman feat? What if the key to transforming your life is so simple, so small, it's almost too easy to dismiss? That key is the 1% rule, the quiet, relentless power of getting just a little bit better every single day, of taking tiny steps that, over time, carve a path to extraordinary greatness. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this, improving by just 1% every day. It sounds so small, doesn't it? Almost insignificant. One extra push-up, one page read in a book, one kind word spoken to a stranger, 1 minute of focused effort. It's the kind of effort that feels like it could slip through the cracks of your busy life unnoticed. But here's where the magic happens. When you commit to that 1% improvement, day after day, something miraculous unfolds. It's not just adding up. It's multiplying, compounding, growing in ways you can't even fathom at the start. If you improve by 1% every day for a year, you don't just get 365% better. No. Because of the power of compounding, you become 37 times better than when you began. 37 times stronger, wiser, more skilled, more resilient, more alive. That's the 1% rule. Tiny, deliberate steps that stack into a mountain of progress. A monument to your persistence. Why does this work? Because we're human, and humans falter under the weight of grand, sweeping changes. We've all been there, haven't we? Burning with passion for a new goal. Swearing to ourselves we'll transform everything overnight. Maybe it's vowing to hit the gym 5 days a week, eating perfectly with no slip-ups, or diving into a dream project with every ounce of energy we have. We start strong, fueled by adrenaline and hope, but then life creeps in. The gym feels too far after a long day. The diet feels like a cage. The project looms like an impossible puzzle. We burn out, not because we lack ambition, but because we're chasing perfection. Trying to leap to the top of the mountain in a single bound. And when we fall short, we don't just stumble, we feel like we've failed. The 1% rule rewrites that story. It's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. It's about making progress so small it feels effortless, yet so consistent it becomes unstoppable. It's about giving yourself permission to be human, to grow slowly, and to trust that every tiny step is enough. Let me take you back to a story that proves the power of small. In 2003, the British cycling team was a shadow of what it could be. For nearly a century, they hadn't won a single Olympic medal. They were so far from glory that some bike manufacturers wouldn't even sponsor them, embarrassed to be associated with their failures. The team was a symbol of struggle, of dreams that seemed too big for their grasp. But then a coach named Dave Brailsford stepped in with a vision that seemed almost laughably simple. Improve every single detail by just 1%. He called it the aggregation of marginal gains. They didn't overhaul everything at once. Instead, they made tiny tweaks, redesigned bike seats to be 1% more comfortable, adjusted the athletes' diets by a fraction, tested fabrics to reduce drag by the smallest margin. They even painted the inside of their team van white to spot dust that could affect the bikes. No detail was too small, no effort too insignificant. And what happened? Within a few years, that struggling team was dominating the world stage, winning Olympic gold medals and Tour de France titles, rewriting history with every pedal stroke, all because they believed in the power of 1% better. This story isn't just about cycling, it's about you. It's about the dreams you carry, the ones that keep you up at night, the ones that scare you because they feel so big. The 1% rule is your lifeline, your proof that you don't need to be extraordinary today to achieve extraordinary things tomorrow. You just need to show up every single day and do something, anything to move forward. Want to get healthier? Don't promise yourself a marathon next week. Start with a 10-minute walk today, or one less sugary drink. Want to master a new skill? Don't aim to be an expert by next month. Spend 15 minutes practicing even if it's messy, even if it's hard. Want to write a book, start a business, or rebuild a relationship? Write one sentence, make one phone call, have one honest conversation. These are the bricks of your future, the small, unglamorous acts that build empires. The key is consistency, not intensity. It's better to do a little every day than to go all out once and give up. Imagine you want to run a marathon, but you've never run before. If you try to run 10 miles on your first day, you'll collapse, discouraged, and maybe never lace up your shoes again. But what if you start with a 5-minute jog? Tomorrow, 6 minutes. The next day, 7. It's so small it feels almost silly, but those minutes add up. They become hours, miles, strength, confidence. Before you know it, you're crossing a finish line you once thought was impossible. That's the 1% rule. Small, steady, relentless progress that carries you further than any burst of effort ever could. Track your journey. Keep a notebook, a phone app, or even a mental checklist. Write down what you did today to be 1% better. Maybe you read one page of a book that inspired you. Maybe you said, "I love you" to someone who needed to hear it. Maybe you spent 5 minutes meditating instead of scrolling through your phone. These are victories, and they matter. When you look back and see the trail of small wins behind you, it's like seeing footprints leading up that mountain. Each one is proof you're moving, proof you're capable, proof you're closer than you were yesterday. And those moments of reflection, they're fuel. They remind you that you're not stuck, that you're not the same person you were a month ago, a year ago. You're growing, even when it feels slow. And here's the hard truth. You will stumble. There will be days when the world feels heavy, when your energy is drained, when doubt wraps around you like a fog. You'll miss a day, or 2, or 10. You'll feel like you're failing, like you're not enough. In those moments, the 1% rule is your anchor. It doesn't demand perfection. It asks for effort. It says, you don't have to climb the whole mountain today. Just take one step. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. If you can't crawl, just turn your face toward the summit and breathe. That's enough. Because every effort, no matter how small, is a rebellion against giving up. Every 1% is a declaration that you're still in the fight. When those dark days come, hold tight to your why. Why are you climbing this mountain? What's the dream that burns in your chest? The one that refuses to let you go? Maybe it's the life you want for your family, the legacy you want to leave, the version of yourself you know you're meant to become. Picture it vividly. See the faces of the people you love. Feel the pride of crossing that finish line. Taste the freedom of living a life true to your heart. That vision is your compass. It's what pulls you back when you stray, what pushes you forward when you're tired. And when self-doubt whispers that you're not enough, answer back with action. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. The 1% rule is your starting line, your permission to begin exactly where you are, with exactly what you have. Surround yourself with people who see your potential, who lift you up when you're sinking. Share your 1% journey with a friend, a mentor, a community who believes in you. Tell them about the small steps you're taking, the dreams you're chasing. Let their encouragement be the wind at your back, pushing you forward when your legs feel weak. Their faith in you will remind you to have faith in yourself, especially on the days when you feel like you're climbing alone. Because you're not alone. You're part of a human story, one where every person who ever achieved anything great started with a single shaky step. The 1% rule doesn't just change one part of your life, it transforms everything. It's like dropping a pebble into a still pond. The ripples spread far beyond where it lands. When you start eating 1% healthier, you feel stronger, clearer, more alive. That strength spills into your work. You show up with more focus, more creativity. That focus builds confidence, and that confidence strengthens your relationships. You listen better, love deeper, show up more fully. And those stronger connections inspire you to dream bigger, to reach higher, to believe in possibilities you once thought were out of reach. One small change creates a cascade of growth, touching every corner of your life, lighting up places you didn't even know were dark. Let me tell you about Sarah. a woman who felt stuck in a job she hated, her days blending into a gray haze of routine. She dreamed of starting her own business but felt paralyzed by fear. Fear of failure. Fear of not being good enough. One day, she heard about the 1% rule and decided to try it. She didn't quit her job or launch a company overnight. Instead, she committed to one small action each day. Reading one article about entrepreneurship, writing one idea in a notebook, reaching out to one person for advice. Some days she only had 5 minutes to give, but she gave it. Months passed, and those tiny steps became a business plan, a website, a first client. Today, Sarah runs a thriving small business, not because she made one giant leap, but because she trusted the power of 1%. Her story isn't unique, it's yours too if you choose it. So here's my challenge to you, and I want you to feel it in your bones. Starting today, commit to the 1% rule. Pick one area of your life where you feel called to grow. Maybe it's your health, your career, your relationships, your inner peace. Ask yourself, what's one tiny thing I can do today to be 1% better? It could be as simple as drinking a glass of water, writing a single sentence, or saying, "I'm proud of you" to yourself in the mirror. Do it, then do it again tomorrow, and the day after that. Don't worry about how long the journey is, or how high the mountain is. Just focus on the step in front of you. Because every step is a victory. Every effort is a spark. Every 1% is a piece of the life you're building. There will be moments when you want to quit, when the peak feels too far, when the weight of the world presses down. In those moments, remember this. You are not defined by your doubts, but by your decisions. Every time you choose to show up, to take that one small step, you're choosing yourself. You're choosing your dreams. You're choosing the person you're becoming. The 1% rule is your promise that no dream is too big, no goal too far, as long as you keep moving forward. It's your reminder that greatness isn't a destination. It's a journey, built one small, brave, beautiful step at a time. So take that step today. Make it small, make it messy, make it yours. Let it be the first of many. Let it be the spark that lights a fire. The mountain is waiting, but it's not your enemy. It's your teacher, your canvas, your chance to prove what you're capable of. The world is watching, not to judge you, but to cheer you on. Your dreams are waiting, not to overwhelm you, but to welcome you home. Start now. 1% at a time, you're not just climbing a mountain. You're building a life that shines, a legacy that lasts, a story that inspires. The journey begins with you, today, right now. So step forward and don't look back. You've got this.